Thank everybody for being here today. Obviously this is a little bit of an unusual situation and something that's out of the ordinary, but we recognize that, which is why we tried to lay out as much detail as we could in the press release. Obviously you guys are going to have more questions that we're more than happy to answer, but as we alluded to on Friday, after our season ended, we started discussions about the offseason and the 2016 season, and as those conversations continued to progress over the weekend and into Monday, we kind of got to a point where we felt like mutually that it might be better to part ways at that point. And so we kind of took a couple days, continued to talk about things, and ultimately we got to this point. So it was amicable, it was mutual. It's something that we have a tremendous amount of respect for Donnie, what he's accomplished here, who he is, and obviously happy to answer any and all questions. I mean, it was more as the conversation evolved. It really was, kind of organic. When we started on Friday, we expected him to be our manager in 2016, and my guess is, and I'm almost positive of this, but obviously he's better to answer this. I think that was his thought process also.
The model of how we worked with Donnie would be a good model for us going forward. There was a lot of collaboration. We talked about lineups. We talked about how to use information, how to interpret it. Look, I mean, people don't always agree on how to interpret information. Andrew and I will look at the same information and sometimes come to different ideas on who should play or what the lineup should look like.
So what happened between the thought process of he's going to be our manager for 2016 and today?
I think, first of all, and again, this is probably more, for Donnie to speak to. There's things obviously on his side, and as we talked through things and got into things, it just kind of crystallized that this is something that, potentially made a lot of sense. And so, we took a couple days to think about it. Again,
hearing a little bit from Donnie and his mindset, and you guys will have the opportunity to hear this from him, but I think there was, part of him that felt the fresh start would be good for him, would be good for the organization. And
from the day I've come in, I'm accountable. And, again, I never appreciate, hearing that the way Game 5 unfolded was Don Mattingly's fault. We all share in the blame. We'll continue to, share in any successes we enjoy and any shortcomings or times that we come up short. We're going to do it together as an organization.
He was under contract for another year. How much did you explore the possibility of, well, we have an asset, let's see if we can get something for that asset?
For us, this was a lot more on kind of we have a really good relationship with him, throughout this year, and it never evolved into something like that. We had a lot of really good back and forth, and once it got to that point, it wasn't, okay, now how do we take the situation the way it played out and leverage it? It just seemed like the best play for both of us was to do this on a mutual basis, amicably, and do it jointly and allow both of us to kind of go on our ways and focus on the future.
Say, did we push a piece of paper across the table that he turned down? The answer is no. We just never got to that point.
There's finer points that Donnie may feel comfortable sharing, may not. From our standpoint, getting into any specifics just doesn't do us a lot of good, because there's no one specific. If there was a reason that this happened, we would share it. It's not. It's a collection of a lot of different conversations that happened over many days that got us to this point. So it's not so black or white here. There is a huge middle, and it's gray, and that's how everything played out. And we're trying to be as transparent as we can with it. But
no, you're not.
We are. We're not hiding anything, and that's what I told you earlier. You guys will dig. You guys will ask follow-up questions. You guys will talk to Donnie. And I assure you that at the end of it, you're going to end up in the same place, because it really is how things played out.